Hello everyone. Again, Pranav is here. Today, I am going to explain hydrogenerator part 13. All other links of the previous parts are given under the description box. Before start the session, I would convey my heartfelt thanks to my best friends who has advised me to glorify my presentation with graphics and AutoCAD application. I shall follow his suggestion in my ongoing sessions. Thank you. Let's start with to evaluate nonlinearity in electromagnetic field wave. Large hydropower generators are always supposed to be in operation under a strong electromagnetic field. Electromagnetic field as generated by the rotor field winding has mainly to be concentrated on the surface of the stator tooth ends, resulting an electromagnetic force wave on the stator armature MMF. The electromagnetic force wave causes electromagnetic vibration. The electromagnetic vibration of the stator armature is also affected by the rotor eccentricity problem. Rotor eccentricity problem is to be rather much concerned as this problem exerts a massive influence on the distribution of the electromagnetic field. Rotor eccentricity causes unbalanced magnetic pull across the air gap and has significant impact on field current, stator electromagnetic force characteristics, armature winding current, and distortion of electromagnetic field distribution. The rotational flux distribution of the machine is directly influenced by the variation in the air gap length, as the air gap magnetic field causes radial forces on the stator core. However, there would have been no contribution of these radial forces in torque generation of the machine, but may lead to have a dangerous vibrations. This problem must be spatially categorized when designing three-phase salient pole synchronous machines with a high number of poles and fractional slot windings. At normal full load operation, a set of harmonic field waves are entirely related by the following interactions. A, the stator winding magnetomotive force, the stator tooth ripple effects, that is pulsating flux, the saliency of the rotor poles, the induced currents in the damper winding, and the last one is the field winding magnetomotive force or MMF. These harmonic field waves are circulating around the air gap and have an effect on the rotational flux distribution in the stator part of the machine. As the stator armature is made slotted, so certain harmonic EMFs of undesirable order are always to be produced even at the normal running operation. The air gap reluctance will also vary depending as per distribution, whether there is a slot or its teeth in the magnetic path. However, some ripples would have been formed due to the variation of air gap reluctance and will affect the air gap magnetic flux distribution. These ripples due to slotting of the armature are always due to ripple opposite to slots and teeth which are causing them. Thus, the harmonics as evolved at the distribution of the electromotive forces due to armature slotting is called slot harmonics. In a large diameter hydrogenerator while in operation there may be a chance of expansion of the rotor as because of high excitation currents and causes reduction of air gap. Decrease in air gap has to increase the rotational flux in the stator area. While machine is at higher output mode, any reduction in air gap length from its design value when the magnetic loading of the stator core will be further increased, resulting of higher core losses. Eccentricity or change in circularity of both the rotor and stator of the machine is also becoming a problematic issue to have a significant variation of air gap along the axial or radial length of the machine, resulting an adverse effect on the machine performance. As the rotational flux distribution is directly influenced by the air gap length, so any deviation in air gap has an effect on the air gap flux magnitude and harmonics. Moreover, any variation in the air gap length will immediately vary the air gap reluctance and therefore affects the induced voltage. The main source of harmonics is the non-sinusoidal flux density waveforms. If somehow such non-sinusoidal field form would have been made sinusoidal, then harmonics can be eliminated. The air gap offers maximum reluctance to the flux path, and if it is made sinusoidal, then the field form would also be sinusoidal. But any reason, the ideal sinusoidal field form can never be achieved as because of magnetic saturation in iron parts of the core, which is unavoidable. The total harmonic distortion of the armature magnetomotive force will be evolved as due to damper bar currents. These armature MMF harmonics has to contribute non-sinusoidal flux in the stator armature and rotor pole phase, which ultimately attributes in an increase in the associated stator core losses and the total rotor pole phase ohmic losses. To minimize the slot harmonics, there are methods to achieve the best possible armature winding voltage waveform quality by effectively limiting the stator slot harmonics. 1. Skewing the rotor slots. 2. Large length of air gap. 3. Armature winding with fractional number of conductors per pole per phase. 4. By increasing stator slot number. 5. Appropriate placement of damper bars over the pole shoe. While maintaining generator efficiency level, it is rather a difficult task to apply one of those arrangements as because technically each has its own limitations. Based on electromagnetic point of view, skewing of stator slots is an effective option to restrict the magnitude of force density of harmonics due to slot harmonics. However, skewing the stator slots affects the field distribution, which varies throughout the machine. In cases of large hydrogenerators with greater axial length, though skewing the stator slots is one of the most effective methods to achieve better voltage waveform, but technically it is not to be considered as due to have significant manufacturing problems such as additional core stacking procedures and precision bending of stator winding bars. To maintain large length of air gap between stator and rotor, then the air gap reluctance will increase, which ultimately restrict the slot harmonics. As for the design optimization of salient pole synchronous generator, it is not at all feasible to provide large air gap length. Due to some limitations in winding arrangement, as well as restrictions in dimensional configuration and requirements of stator core mechanical stiffness, the designers have little scope to provide higher number of stator slots. There would have been significant number of winding couplings, while the armature winding with fractional number of conductors per pole per phase method is adopted. And technically, it has become much more complicated to assemble. But possible accepted method is based on the choice of damper winding with the same slot pitch as the stator slot pitch, which ensures that no current will be induced in damper winding due to have any presence of stator slot magnetic field harmonics. However, the above clause can only be effectively achieved to improve the voltage waveform if the generator has a whole number of stator slots per pole per phase. So it is not practically applicable while the generator is comprised of fractional number of stator slots per pole per phase. The damper slot pitch adjustment may have a chance to increase the damper bar currents even in steady state condition of the generator, and for which higher will be the damper winding losses, resulting a higher rotor temperature. In order to restrict damper winding current, the rotor pole shoe is designed with damper bars of smaller cross section, and that has to be achieved in concurrence with the correlation of an appropriate combination of damper slot pitch and partial skewing of rotor slot with significant in angle size. Implementing of such combination may lead to have a significant reduction of total harmonic distortion of line voltage, resulting in improved quality of voltage waveform. In subsequent consequences, such configuration also contributes a considerable reduction of the associated stator core losses and the total rotor pole phase ohmic losses. Selection of number of slots. The cost as well as performance of the machine are directly influenced by the selection of suitable number of slots per pole per phase of the machine. To evaluate underneath factors while selection of number of slots. 1. Balanced three-phase winding. An unbalanced armature winding will attribute significant technological problem by initiating undeserved space harmonics, which will affect the armature winding voltage waveform quality, overheating due to unwarranted stator core loss, and increase in rotor pole phase ohmic losses. So, balanced three-phase winding can be obtained through proper selection of number of slots per pole per phase. 2. Slot tooth. Higher the number of slots, that will lead to narrower teeth space, resulting into higher tooth pulsating flux density beyond permissible limits, and obviously slot teeth becomes mechanically weak. Slot leakage reactance. Due to have leakage flux, the slot leakage reactance is one of the most important electromagnetic parameters to have an effect on the leakage reactance of the slot conductors. However, the slot leakage reactance is indirectly proportional to the number of stator slots. That is, the higher the number of slots, the lower will be the leakage reactance. 4. Tooth ripples. The tooth ripples in the field form and the consequent pulsation losses in rotor pole phase would have become less if larger number of slots are used. Also, the waveform quality of generated armature voltage is considerably much better with less ripples. Based on technical feasibility, selection of number of slots per pole per phase. A, for saline pole machines may be taken as 3 to 4 slots per pole per phase. For non-saline pole machines may be taken as 7 to 9 slots per pole per phase. Following limitations for provision of slot pitch at saline pole machines: low voltage machine, that is 2.5 centimeter slot pitch; medium voltage machine up to 6 kV, 4 centimeter; high voltage machine up to 15 kV, 6 centimeter. Stator bar laying process. Chances of occurrence of slot electromagnetic forces are usually high, and for which deterioration in slot area bar insulation is common and might have been severe. So, the slot portion of the stator winding is probably considered as the most critical and complicated area of generator. To minimize wear, vibration, and abrasion, and also have a proper supports of the hydrogenerator stator bar insulation in the core slot area, following components are provided: wedges, 2 slot fillers, third one ripple springs, and fourth end caps. Insulation supportive items and its material description. Wedges: 130 degrees centigrade, 155 degrees centigrade, or 180 degrees centigrade, glass epoxy or glass polyester type material. Slot fillers of temperature class 130 degrees centigrade, 155 degrees centigrade, or 180 degrees centigrade, glass epoxy, glass polyester. And B, semiconductive glass polyester or glass epoxy. Ripple spring. A, side ripple spring is fabricated with several layers of finely woven glass fabric bonded with a high temperature electrically conducting carbon loaded synthetic resin matrix. B, top ripple spring is fabricated with several layers of glass fabric bonded with high temperature synthetic resin matrix. Number 4, end caps. The head connections on the lower end faces of the stator winding are covered by trap-shaped insulating caps, which have openings at the bottom through which casting resin would have been poured in. At the same time, caps are filled at the other end faces also. Succeeding insulating caps are turned 180-degree relative to each other so that a long leakage path is obtained. Now, one diagram, that is assembly of stator bars within the slot. First part is the slot wedge, then top ripple spring, then top filler, semiconductive side filter, strand insulations, that is in the stop bar as well as bottom bar, strand insulations, bar wall insulation, outer corona layer, encapsulating semiconductive fleece, semiconductive coated intercoil packer, copper strand, semiconductive side filler, the bottom side slot semiconductive filler for bottom bar. Wedges non-magnetic and magnetic. The rowable bars are to be fitted into the longitudinal slots at the inside diameter of the core and are held in place by wedges that slide into the top of the slot. The stator wedging component is equally important as that of stator insulation components. The main function of wedges are as follows. A. To secure proper tightness of the bars in the slots. B. To ensure and maintain the positive pressure on the bars, which may restrict movement of the bars within the slots, resulting in minimizing the loss of semiconductive coating and wall insulation. The design and construction of the stator with open slots are usually preferred for the hydro generators so as to ease the assembly process of the stator windings, that is bars or coils, which are then fixed with the non-magnetic slot wedges. The change of reluctance as corresponds to wide opened stator slots would lead to occur slot ripple at the air gap flux density. Pulsation frequency at the magnetic flux density in the air gap between stator and rotor are also be increased in accordance with the number of stator slots and the synchronous rotating speed of the magnetic field. It is also to be concluded that the wide stator slot openings may lead to higher harmonic components in the air gap field, increasing pulsation between stator and rotor, uneven distributed flux density, higher noise, and vibration. At operational stage, all these erroneous factors have an effect on some of the characteristics of the generator with certain increase in overall losses. Through some research work on this issue, it has been concluded that the intensity as well as harmonic content of the air gap magnetic field will vary with the basic influence of the permeability and thickness of the slot wedge, resulting a comprehensive change on the performance parameters of the hydro generator. It is also revealed if the slot notches are equipped with wedges made of magnetic instead of non-magnetic material, then the complexity of overall effects can be countered efficiently. The utilization of slot wedges made of magnetic material has made the possibility to help the winding for better withstand electrodynamic forces, mainly during machine startup, and also has to filter out undesirable harmonics or induced undesirable effects from the magnetic field distribution in the air gap. However, the leakage magnetic conductivity would have been increased at the particular slot section position where the magnetic wedge is placed. The leakage magnetic flux through the magnetic wedge has then influenced to increase the leakage reactance of the stator winding. Due to the increase of the stator winding's leakage flux, slot tooth saturation excitation current and its losses also increase. So, the magnetic properties with wedges thickness and the positions at the slot sections where wedges to be embedded should have to be optimized in such a way that the losses shall be minimized, while at the same time causing minimum possible change in winding reactance. To restrict pulsation intensity with slot harmonic content and improve the waveform of air gap magnetic field, the magnetic slot wedge should be embedded at the slot opening. Magnetic wedge embedding costs and installation related risks are become much more significant since addition of magnetic material causes a sharp reduction in the elasticity and long-term mechanical breakdown capability of the wedge. So, selection of material composition for magnetic wedge is a complicated one based on the experience related to the application reliability. The magnetic wedges made from soft iron laminates that consists of glass fiber as carrier, iron powder, and epoxy resin as a binding agent, all in insulation class F, have been selected. Fillers and ripple springs. There are generally two bars, one on the top and the other beneath in each slot. The bars are secured in the slots with fillers and top ripple springs to restrain bars from radial movement and with side ripple spring to increase friction between the bar and the slot wall. Side ripple spring that are also made semiconductive to ensure proper grounding of the bar surface to the core. The side ripple spring is of several layers of finely woven glass fabric bonded with high temperature resistant material. Sometimes it is filled with graphite material to make it partly conductive, that is semiconductive type. Between the slot wedge and the top filler, and laterally between the bar and the slot wall ripple springs of glass fiber bonded with epoxy resin material will be used as a resilient spacer. Through side ripple springs, a secure contact between the corona shield of the stator winding bars and the core laminations can be ensured in spite of any dimensional changes resulting from temperature variations. Side ripple springs are the electrically and mechanically securing elements in the slot area region based on the interplay of spring action and electrical conductivity. Top ripple spring. In global VPI windings, there will be a possible chance of developing cracks at the resin part between the bar or coil and the core, if not properly packed with shear stress relieving surfaces. In accordance with the above logic, top ripple springs are commonly used to provide radial pressure on the bar or coil in the slot. To keep it tight, top ripple springs do not have to be semiconductive since there is no radial path to the core ground. One diagram for stator bar configuration of the large generators and slots assembly with certain components, that is ripple springs, slot wedges, thermal elastic insulation, conformable layers, etc. Top ripple spring is of several layers of finely unidirectional glass fabric bonded with resin. Top ripple spring provides outstanding mechanical properties at elevated temperature and very high elasticity. Top ripple springs are deployed in high voltage windings as an alternative to the two-part wedge. The webs in the ripple spring are normally flattened during the installation. Over the time, when slot content shrinks, the ripple spring expands to take up the new space and holds the bar or coil tight. Now let us discuss with the basic design configuration of providing ripple springs with the installation of bars at the stator slots. For slot having with two bars of the same phase, then the force will usually be downward on both bars. When bars are of different phases, force on the top bar will be slightly upward. Some type of compression system, such as application of top ripple springs, has to be placed so as to ensure the proper placement of the bars and remain seated in the slot, causing a restriction of bar movement within the slot area. So, by providing top ripple springs, the relative motion of the bars in the core slots are then to be restricted and ultimately mitigated insulation degradation problem. Refer to figure 1. You see, top ripple springs minimize the relative motion of the bars in their slots and mitigate insulation degradation. Usually, lateral forces on the bar are supposed to be minimum. When the rotating magnetic field starts developing, it will then force to initiate a rotating deflection of the stator core, causing an alternating motion of the slot teeth on either side of the stator bar. Subject to impose radial deflection of the stator core results tangential motion of the slot teeth. Refer to figure 2. The side ripple springs are to be provided for ensuring the bar remains in contact with the slot wall. See the picture. Figure 2. Rotating magnetic field drives a rotating deflection of the stator core, which causes alternating motion of the slot teeth on either side of the stator bar. Now you see the total assembly of the stator bars, that is stator core, stator wedge, top ripple spring, top filler, side ripple or side filler, bottom filler, ground wall insulation, vertical insulation, middle filler. End caps. End caps are used as the trap-shaped insulating caps with opening at the bottom for covering the soldered head connections of the stator winding. The flat bottoms of which are placed to cover up the head connections, and then the caps are being poured full of settable casting resin. The filled in casting resin, which is subsequently hardened at both end faces of the soldered head connections of the stator winding, resulting an additional layer of insulation cover and over the conductor insulation. In spite of the filling opening as provided in the bottom of the cap near one end face, still would have been no danger of breakdown even at any possibility of voids exists after hardening the settable casting resins. This is because of the 180-degree rotation of successive insulating caps together with an air gap between the conductors results in a sufficiently long surface leakage path through the filling opening. The distance between the head connections and the bottom of the insulating caps need not therefore be increased over and above that at the other end face. Let's stop here. Further to be continued at later stage. Thank you. Thank you for listening the video. Kindly do like, share, and subscribe. Your subscriptions would encourage to post more videos. Also share your valuable comments or feedbacks inside the dedicated comment box. If you have any suggestions or specific topic you want, then let me know in the comment section. Thank you.